Hey, nerdy sports fan here. We're doing record predictions. So we're going through the schedule, one team at a time, going through every game. And some games we're going to call as a win right out of the gate, some a loss right out of the gate. Others are going to be more of a toss-up category because parity exists in this league any given Sunday, whatever the hell you want to call it. There's no way in hell anybody is going to legitimately say they can call every single game from the frickin' parking lot like this. It ain't going to happen. Okay? So, knowing that, at the end, we'll take all the toss-up games and kind of split them down the middle, and that's how we get our record prediction. I actually bet on this, and I do pretty well. So, let's dig in. All right, so, Chargers. Yeah, I think you're starting off with a loss, Bengals. I really are. Week 1, Joe Burrow, first game in the NFL, going up against a defense that is specifically built to beat Patrick Mahomes. That's going to be difficult. All right? And Tyrod Taylor does not make mistakes. I expect him to be the starter at the beginning of the season for the Chargers. I just think that because of the situation the Chargers are in, the Bengals really don't have much of a chance here. All right, so at the Browns, I'm putting this in the toss-up category, less because the Bengals are catching up and more because the Browns have no leadership. The Browns are not going to be up for this game. Look, let's be realistic, okay? You earn the number 1 overall draft pick by being fucking terrible. That didn't change. All right? One off season did not change that. DJ Reader, huge addition. Joe Burrow, huge addition. Reader is going to be a more immediate impact, though. Quarterbacks take a few years. All right? Not everybody's Dan Marino. Give him a bit. He will be better. He will make this team better. Not right now. But again, the Browns have no leadership. They will not be up for this game because the Bengals are viewed very poorly throughout the league. So that will give the Bengals the opening to at least make this a winnable game for them. All right, so at the Eagles, you're losing that one. The Eagles do have leadership, good leadership, as attested by their recent Super Bowl win. So I don't expect them to have a problem getting up for the game. I really don't. And yeah, a young high draft pick quarterback is going to want to beat another young high draft pick quarterback. Carson Wentz is going to see a target in Joe Burrow. And even though they don't directly play against one another, he's going to want to rub Joe's nose in it. So, that'll likely happen. Anyways, Jaguars, toss-up game. Are the Jaguars bad? Absolutely. What do I think of Cincinnati? Huh? Also bad. But because both teams are bad, legitimate chance to win this one. Just equal chance to lose it. All right. So, Baltimore. Yeah, I don't care if it's on the road or at home. They're going to thump you. All right. Just, whoo. They have one of the best defensive personnels in the league now. After this offseason, they're in real conversation for the best defense in the league. Burrow is not ready for that. He's not. Okay? And he's got to go against that defense keeping pace with an offense that is going to score a shit ton of points because Lamar Jackson is ridiculous. The human frickin' joystick. Yeah, you're going to lose that one. At the Colts, that's a loss. It's on the road. All right? It's on the road against a team that has a fantastic roster. Do I have real questions about quarterback play on that team? Absolutely. Absolutely. Doesn't matter. The rest of the team is stacked. Okay? They have a real deep playoff run roster outside of the quarterback in Indianapolis. You don't right now with Cincinnati. They are going to find a way to beat you, even if Rivers is terrible. And that's an if right now. So, yeah, you're losing to the Colts. All right. Browns. Toss-up game. At home. Now the Browns will be ready for you more, but you're getting them at home. So the Browns are not so good that I think they're going to walk into Cincinnati and thump you. They're not. Okay, they have bad leadership. They have a lot of top-end talent. Their depth is a little questionable. And really, I just feel like that locker room is going to melt down. I really do. Might happen before this, might happen after, which is why it's a toss-up here. All right, so Titans, yeah, they're going to thump you. Derrick Henry, yeah. You had one of the worst run defenses in the entire league, if not the worst. I forget, actually. But there's a reason he got DJ Reader. DJ Reader does not fix that by himself. He doesn't. You got a rookie linebacker that everybody in Cincinnati seems to love, but yeah, I don't. Guy played for Wyoming. Not exactly great competition. And that's really the only thing that addressed the linebacker core that was staffed with essentially homeless people. Just the worst linebacking core in the entire league. Got an influx of a rookie that I'm not really that hyped about. So, yeah. DJ Reader's got his hands full here with Derrick Henry. And since he's not the only one on the defense, I think you're just going to get run over. And, their defense is pretty fucking good. So, is it going to be easier to deal with the Titans' defense than Baltimore's defense for Joe Burrow? Absolutely. Sure. You're just not going to be able to keep pace, though. The Titans' offense is going to decimate this bad defense. So, bye week in week 9. Guaranteed not a loss there, right? Hey, week 10 at the Steelers. Yeah, it's a loss. By week 10, the Steelers will be in full stride. If you're getting them in the beginning of the year, there'd be a real chance to sneak in and win, because we really don't know what Ben Roethlisberger is going to be coming back from injury, having this really weird offseason where they're not actually, contacting people as much as they normally would. So not as much of a chance for Big Ben to knock all the rust off. Well, by week 10, that's figured out. And you're on the road against another team that legitimately could say they have the best defense in the league. Yeah, it's not going to work out. Joe's not ready for that caliber of defense just yet. All right, so at Washington, toss-up game. Washington's terrible. They're a real bad team. It's on the road. Cincinnati's also pretty bad. This is too close to call, only because both teams are awful. All right, so Giants. Yeah, you're losing that one. The Giants are much improved. They finally have what you can say is at least a middle-of-the-road offensive line in front of Daniel Jones and Saquon Barkley. Saquon Barkley is going to have the best offensive line in his young career. And he's going to use that to run all over this defense, because he's the best running back in the league, and he would have done that with a bad line. All right, so at Miami, that's a loss. Miami's much improved. They have the right head coach for certain in Flores. The reason I say that is everybody thought Miami was going to be the number 1 overall draft pick, because they were intentionally jettisoning all the veteran leadership, all their talented players, anybody they can get a really good draft pick for, they traded. So their roster was shit last year. And towards the end of the year, Flores had this team playing hard enough to win enough games to knock them down to the number 5 overall pick. Cincinnati did not. Cincinnati did not have a team that was legitimately tanking. They got rid of a head coach. Sure, they had a rookie head coach too. But, yeah, Zach Taylor didn't exactly have this team hammering out the hits. No, you earned the number 1 overall pick. And this team definitely did. than that they did. So we're really not sure about the head coach's qualifications just yet. I am sure about Miami's, though. I am positive that roster is going in the right direction based off of what they spent in free agency, where they spent it, and what positions they addressed in the draft. Do I like Miami's draft? No. I dislike it as much as I disliked Cincinnati's draft. I thought they overvalued a lot of players, but I did think they addressed the right positions. So I think things are pointing in the right direction there. It's on the road. Things are not necessarily all pointing in the right direction in Cincinnati. And they have the coaching edge right now. So yeah, you're losing to Miami. All right, so Cowboys, that's a loss. This shouldn't even be a question. The Cowboys are a legitimate playoff contender, legitimate Super Bowl contender. And you're on the road. So yeah, no, you're going to get lumped up on there. Oh wait, no, that's a home game. Sorry, doesn't matter. They're going to come to Cincinnati and lump up on you. All right, so Steelers, that's a loss. Just, again, you're getting both your Steelers games late. So it's voiding all chance you had to really capitalize on Big Ben being rusty after injury. Barring Big Ben being hurt again, this is a guaranteed loss. That defense is far too good for Joe Burrow to deal with right now. All right, so at the Texans, that's a loss. Legitimate playoff team. Probably going to win their division. Well, no, Titans probably going to win that. But either way, legitimate playoff contending team. You are not going to go on the road and beat them. Don't fool yourself. All right, and you're finishing the season with another loss to the Ravens. Now, normally the Week 17 game, you'd say, there's a chance they don't play their starters. Not this time. All right, the Ravens are going to be in such serious competition with the Chiefs for the number 1 overall spot in the AFC that they're still going to need this win, which makes it so you really have no chance at getting it yourself. So, if you're paying attention, I think the games that you're guaranteed one way or the other, you're 0-12. And if you split the remaining games down the middle, that makes you 2-14. That is my honest prediction for the record for these Cincinnati Bengals. Do I think they're going to be better in the future? Absolutely. You can't get worse, first of all. Second of all, I do think Joe Burrow is a legitimate professional quarterback. Right now, he's a legitimate professional quarterback. Give him a year or two of experience. That's a serious talent you have there. And it's going to show relatively early in flashes and just become more consistent as his career goes on. I hope that Cincinnati doesn't ruin this young man's career by making it so he never has a roster that has any hope of the playoffs. Andy Dalton did a lot for this team. He made the playoffs a good amount with the Bengals. So I don't think that can be overlooked. I think the city of Cincinnati owes Andy Dalton a lot of thanks. Joe Burrow will be better at some point in his career than Andy Dalton was at his peak. I'm sure of it. He's not going to be better right now. Joe Burrow right now is not an upgrade to Andy Dalton right now. You have to look at it realistically. And the roster is really not much better at all than what it was last year outside of Joe Burrow. So it's going to be another painful season. But I think good times are ahead. Another high draft pick when you don't need a quarterback is a huge step in the right direction for building a roster. You'll be able to address another weak point on the team with a player that will be able to contribute immediately. Because players that aren't quarterbacks usually do. Except for maybe wide receivers. But you don't need a receiver. You got plenty of receivers in Cincinnati. So, hit me up in the comments. Let me know what you guys think. Hit me up on Instagram. Hit me up on Patreon. Hit me up on Twitch. I got a Twitch account for my video games because everybody on YouTube seems to hate it so much. But thanks for watching, guys.